Hello and welcome to the JTrain Podcast. This is JTrain Freid, and it's a Chit Chat Wednesday, and today's guest is Nora Fried. Yeah, you heard right. Freid, not a family member, not a cousin, just another comedian who happens to have the same last name, spelled a little different. She spells it Fried, I spell it Freid. We talk about that. I went on her podcast. She's just a fantastic comedian and great conversation on this show, and I went on her podcast, and I had a great time on that. You should go check it out. It's called New Yorker of the Week. I just looked down to read it because it was New Yorker of something. New Yorker of the Week. I really enjoyed going on her show and invited her right on here on Chit Chat Wednesday to talk about dating and New York and comedy and Sex in the City and things we ate and Diet Coke. So I just love this conversation. So much fun, so easy. Check it out. Enjoy. Leave a comment if you had fun with it too. Leave a comment with your Sex in the City opinions and enjoy. Hello and welcome to the JTrain Podcast. This is JTrain Freid coming live from Delray Beach, Florida. That's right. Every Wednesday is a Chit Chat Wednesday where I have on a comedian or a friend or an expert to have a little chit chat. Today, we have two of the three. Maybe by the end, we will also be friends because we're just meeting. This is our third time speaking, really. But they are a comedian, hilarious, and you should all go follow them. And they're an expert in two things. New Yorkers, because they have a podcast called New Yorker of the Week, where they talk to New Yorkers every week. And Sex in the City, because it was formerly a Sex in the City podcast. So I know we got a Sex in the City expert. And she might sound familiar. We are not family. Nora Fried, thank you for coming on the show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so upset that you just dropped the Sex and the City reference because right now, because in Just Like That just came out and we are trying so hard to get away from Sex and the City. No shade to Sex and the City though. Like
I saw your goodbye video to Sex and the City. Sorry to interrupt, but I saw you put up a video of like the podcast is changing. Everyone does at least one, hey guys, I know you love this show, but we have to evolve video. And you're already doing it. This was, you guys were like, we want to open it up. We want to broaden the show. We want to be the next Joe Rogan. And we're saying
That's
goodbye.
That's literally what we were thinking.
I had a feeling.
I woke up and I was like, I want to be Joe Rogan, I think.
I want to be the voice of this Sex and the City audience, but we're so stuck in the Sex and the City world. We're going to open it up to New Yorkers. And yeah, I love it. So hold on. You love Sex and the City, but you don't. And Just Like That, how do you feel about it? What is your kind of like, what's your and Just Like That opinion?
I love it. Wow, you look so Florida right now.
I'm the most Florida I've ever been.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be. Are you drinking an Arnold Palmer?
That would be the most Florida thing I can do. I mean, they still have iced coffee in Florida. They still do that.
They do that?
Yeah, they do iced coffee. But
wow.
Yeah, no milk. I'm not a milk in my coffee guy. Extra ice. Okay. Extra ice, little bit of sugar-free and vanilla.
The shirt, the painting.
No cap. This shirt is a New York Cosmos shirt. This is as New York as it gets. Pele.
I don't know what that is.
You have a New York podcast. You got to know the Cosmos.
I know. It's bad. I felt it a lot yesterday. I was actually on a date and I missed the Knicks game. And then I went to go meet up with all my neighbors, which is very New York of me. My entire building is friends. And so we all met up together. And it's literally. And I was like, so guys, what's the vibe? I met them at 11 and they were like, the Knicks lost.
Right. That's the only vibe.
That's
the only story.
Like, that's the vibe.
Right. Well,
yeah. But it's like, for me, it's like the Knicks are playing the Mets. Like, I don't even fucking know anymore. Like, I'm so, like, I am a woman. Hear me roar and not about sports.
Right. You will roar about Sex in the City and the offshoots of Sex in the City every Tuesday.
Jared, we did a rebrand.
I'm sorry,
okay?
there's a rebrand. Hold on, I have so many questions from what you just told me. And every time I start
I'm
these,
like this. I'm like bouncing all the time. That's
well,
a
that's what
Hannah's
makes me.
problem with me.
That's okay. I'm gonna reel you in.
Okay.
I'll, I'll grab
Hmm.
you. Okay. I'll make sure you
Okay.
don't float away too far.
Okay.
You brought up two things. I'll address the Knicks thing. Let me defend you. In your
Okay.
defense, the
Hmm.
Knicks are the only New York team that everyone agrees on. So it was a big deal. But the Knicks, I've lived in New York for 18 years. Not one of those years was a Knicks year like it was this year. So it is new
Okay.
to be like, hey, the game is on. That is literally in 18 years of living in New York. I can't remember one instance where someone was like, did you watch the game? And I knew what they were talking about. So
Yeah.
the Knicks are the only team that can do that to the city. So I understand you're new at this. I'm new at this. We're all new at this. And they lost last night, which is sad because I think the city's a happier place when the Knicks are happening and it's cool and it's the only Manhattan team. Okay, that's your defense. How was the date?
Well, I showed up after. Okay, here's the thing. And I actually
Where
was
did you
saying this.
go? How did you meet? Start from
We
there.
we so as you know, I've been released from a couple apps.
I try.
Just,
I was a guest on New Yorker of the Week, and I gave Nora the advice that she should shed.
but the apps shed me,
Okay.
as we know.
No one is more Sex in the City than you. After you've said that, that is the most Sex in the City thing to say.
That's why I'm
Was it the
sad.
apps that I shed, or did the apps shed me?
And the apps shed me. They
Yeah.
were like, you can't come back. And I tried to go back, and they were like,
Oh yeah, you were kicked
Yeah.
off for.
I was kicked off for multiple things. None of them being scary. I just want to make that clear.
I
And
agreed on. I agreed with the kickoff because you're
Mhm.
dealing with the machine and algorithm, and you did use languaging that if a machine read it with no emotion, they would go, "Get her out of here." And you can go listen. That's called. Nora's new to this. This is what they call in the business a tease. Go listen to me on the New Yorker of the Week podcast. You can hear that whole story. We won't get into it here. See how
And we're-
good I am at this, Nora? This
and-
is why I make the big bucks.
And okay. Well, you know what? I made a lot on my tickle video, Jared. So don't, you're not
Another
I'm-
tease. So now she's
another
learning.
tease.
Another tease to her
Don't even try.
podcast,
We
New
have
Yorker of the
boys.
Week. All she does is plug. Okay.
We have boys in our inbox. That's all I gotta say. Okay.
Tickle boys.
Tickle boys.
Yeah, what are they called?
Um,
The people that like tickling videos.
I don't know. You tell me it's a man.
That's-
And I don't
you tell
understand.
me. Don't make it. Don't
No, you tell
don't turn
me.
me
I
into this
don't-
tickle monster.
Okay.
That worked way too well.
It was so good.
Yeah, that's the clip.
It was low hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Okay, so I've been kicked off a lot of apps. So my friend sent me this new app called Sitch. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Sitch.
Sitch.
Honestly, we're at the point where it's the SNL sketch with the guy from Barry talking about clubs in New York.
Yeah.
Like
It's
we have
you never know anymore.
right. You could be inventing an app out of thin air. Oh, it's Sitch, where you meet on a street corner and you say, "What's the Sitch?" And that's the password that gets you into the bar that you guys have a $5 coupon for. Like what is Sitch? What's the premise here?
So the premise is that you write out a very, very detailed bio. It took me an hour. It's actually very reflective. It talks about like what you really are looking for in a person and what are things that are non-negotiables for you. And for me, that's something that I haven't really reflected on. Like I do witchy stuff. Like I got a love candle in Baltimore and I lit it and like did a little prayer and it didn't really do anything. You know what I mean? And it's like we all kind of do
You did
stuff
this
like
before
that.
you did the bio?
Oh, I
I'm
did
sorry
this
to
like
interrupt you.
way.
I got to reel you in. I got to make sure that we keep you within 100 feet of the ground. You lit the candle before doing the bio?
No, I lit the candle. I lit the candle when I turned 33. So it was
that's
a while.
okay.
It was a while ago. My friend got it with me, and we were at a witchy store, and he was like, "Nora, I think this is your time. Get the candle."
Well,
And the lady
I
was
think
like, "It's
lighting-
gonna work. It's gonna work."
Lighting a candle on your 33rd birthday, like I think we need to like discuss what is weirdo candle witchy woman thing and what is like, hey, that's a day you should be reflective. Like to me,
Yeah.
a birthday, lighting a candle, doing a little prayer, getting in touch with the universe, that makes sense. If you're the woman working at the candle shop, looking at a woman going, this will work, guaranteeing it, you've fallen off the deep end. You've lost yourself. You are in full witch mode. Put on a hat, get a scarf, get a cat.
It's like I have
howl
a
at the
cat.
moon.
I have a cat. Haven't done the moon thing. But here's the thing. I got the candle and I was like, you guys, I don't need the apps. First of all, they don't want me. I don't want them.
Yeah, you're off the deep end. Saying the candle replaces the apps is like the craziest thing I've ever heard. I have a candle.
I was like, I have a
hey, you're
candle.
off the apps? Yeah, I got a candle. Someone would go, what? Wait, hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm off the apps. I have this candle from Baltimore. So I lit the candle, but then I got to the point in the candle where I couldn't reach my finger down into the candle because it's one of those prayer candles. And so there's a little bit of wax left, right? And I was like, and I didn't want to buy one of those grill lighters. So I was just like, fuck it. You know what? Like, and
how about a new candle? I mean, I think we've gone through, I think it didn't work. I think if you're at the end of the wick, this is crazy.
There's moments where I look down on myself in my studio apartment at 33, lighting the candle, shoving my fingers into this prayer candle, being like, I need to find love. That I'm just like, hey, Nora, I think I'm going to take a step back. This is not working out.
It's not the candle.
Just go outside. Just go outside, take a walk, talk to some people. We'll see what's up. You know?
Fresh air will do.
Yeah. And I had been ghosted a bunch recently, and I had gone on some dates, and I had been burned by a man actually who ended up in Miami. So I've been like, actually, sorry, I just
guess
had to
it's
throw
my
a little
fault.
Florida.
Sorry.
I know.
Hold on. We are so far away.
No, listen.
Okay.
So then I was like, Sitch comes along, and I'm like, this feels like such targeted ads for me, right? Like this feels like it's for me. And so I'm like, I'm going to really put my all into this profile.
What are the ads? What are they including? Like, hey, this is the app you don't get ghosted on. This is the app that you're intentional. Are these like kind of the ads they're giving you?
They're like, have you been ghosted recently? You could be compensated. Like that. It's like a funny, like, you know, when you're like, see on the, like Michael the Bull, on the subway, who's like, do you have a broken leg from a construction site? Like, call me. It was like that, but for Sitch. And I was like, I do have a broken leg from construction. You know what I mean? And like, it really spoke to me, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then my friend sent me a referral. So I got it for free. So I was like, great. So now I have a friend who's throwing it in my way or in my space. So I fill out everything. And I'm really honest with myself. And I actually it was very emotional. I was like, wow, I really like, these are things that are non-negotiables for me. Like, there's some things that I didn't even realize. Like, I was like, oh shit. Like, I really can't be with someone who's negative all the time. That's something that's like a no for me. Like, you don't know how many people I go out with that are like, I didn't get this gig, I'm gonna kill myself. And it's like, yeah, welcome. You know, like we're at an open mic together. I know you never experienced that, but like, for us,
went
it's
to
just
one open mic.
Never went to. You're already like, you know. But I'm just saying, like,
the world didn't exist before.
I just meant
before you started comedy.
And
on the 7th day, Nora Fried started doing stand-up comedy, and the rest.
What I'm saying though is that like it's like life is hard. Like let's just be a little positive. Like,
well, what's this all for? If you and I, you know, like if my partner and I aren't having fun together, like if we can't joke about it. But I think that's something that like artists run into is if you date another person in the arts you kind of run into like a version of yourself that like you can dig the hole together, you know, which is tough.
I guess so, but I want the hole to be digging upwards. You know what I mean? Like it's like I just feel like if someone's doing well, amazing. Let's celebrate. If they're not, like let's figure out a way to like make it move forward.
Let's be
We don't need to like the city's already so tough, you know? Like life is hard. Especially like I'm just a little lady, you know what I mean? And it's like we're having a hard time right now, you know? And it's like, let's just try to be positive. Am I positive all the time? No, but I like try to be. So that was one of my non-negotiables.
Okay, good.
I filled it out. I went out with someone last night from the app. We spent 3 hours together. Now I'm going to say something and it's going to sound really pompous and it's going to, maybe don't clip it and maybe just delete it. I don't know. Whatever you want to do with it.
Sounds like this is going to be the clip.
I am a really fun time. Like
Okay.
I am a good date. I'm fun. You know, like I have a positive attitude about it. I have an interesting life. I
If
can like
you're there to party.
I'm like
Let's have fun. Let's
I'm
get
gonna
to know
bring
each
some
other. Let's
fun.
laugh. That type of thing.
Exactly. I get my nails look good, my hair looks good, I got my makeup on, I
You're
got a
ready.
good outfit on. I'm
It's a
like,
night.
I'm good. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm saying that like if there was a second best or maybe a third, I'm like right, I'm hanging out in that area.
You're in the top tier.
And
You're a
I'm
one
like,
percenter when it comes to good time
exactly,
dates. Yeah,
exactly.
and it's
It's
like
hard.
first dates especially. I'm
It's
sure.
hard. It's hard then to know if you hate someone or not.
Right?
Because
Did I
my
have
goal,
fun, or would I have had fun with anybody?
would I have had fun with a wall?
Right.
Like, would I have had fun with anyone? And the thing is that the guy and I, because we matched on this app, so it's a whole thing is that you get matched by this woman named Danny, who's like,
She's the
who's
woman
this
from the
like,
candle store. Hey, I was
she's like,
howling at the moon last night,
she's like
and
this
let me
AI
introduce you to
woman.
this guy that signed up for the app. Yeah.
She's this AI bot, and she's like, hey, I'm Danny. I'm the founder of Sitch. Like, what's up? Like, hey, what do you
It's an
like
AI
in
bot.
yeah, it's an AI bot, and her name's Danny, and there's a picture of her. And then once you actually get matched with them, you get passed off to Jacinta. And
Another AI
Jacinta
bot. What is
is another AI bot who like
an intercultural AI bot? Why is she like?
and I literally and I'm
Why is she
sorry,
named Jacinta? What is it?
I don't know, it's really random, but and I'm sorry, I quit smoking and I'm just vaping now and I'm just gonna
That's
do it. And I
okay.
smoked a bunch of cigarettes last night, so I guess I didn't quit smoking. So like here we are. But other than
Listen,
that, everything's great. I like work
it's
out,
just
it's
weird
fine.
they went from Nora to Jacinta. Like, or no, Dora.
Danny.
Danny. Sorry.
Danny. If they
Danny.
had said Dora, I would have been like, I'm not doing this. Clearly, they want me
Right,
to relate
because
to the person too much. Because I'm
right.
Dora and they're Nora, or I'm Nora and
Hey,
they're Dora.
Nora, here's your new friend, Dora. She's gonna help set you up with
It's
a new
so,
friend. I don't
it's
know.
so
I'm mad about
crazy.
the AI setup artist because it's going to work because people have met in every way. But like the idea that this AI bot is somehow better than a Greek aunt is like a
That's
little.
absolutely not. Yeah. My
It's
Jewish
a little.
mother,
It's a little demeaning to humans. I don't know. I just don't buy the I buy it just because if you just put
yeah.
a hand in a bucket and pulled out Nora and Guy, it could work.
Yeah.
So
It
they
just,
go through all your answers and then they find you a date. They go, I got one for you,
yeah.
and
And
what's
it's perfect alignment. Like he said the same thing. I said, what were your non-negotiables? He says, I hate negative people.
okay.
I was like, all right, let's go. I said, what's your favorite color? He asked me what was I know we were at that point in the date,
What
which I know.
color? What
I
does
know,
that
I know.
matter? I
Okay,
couldn't handle it.
I
She
just
liked chartreuse too much.
I okay. I just said and I was an amazing date. And now I am telling you that we got to the part in the day where we were exchanging which our favorite colors were, but I promised it was a good date. Anyways, I said pink. He
Right.
said
But that's in the questionnaire, but I just don't know why that matters to Jacinta.
no. This is when I'm with Paul. Sorry, I shouldn't say his name. Whatever. Bleep, you know? But
Yeah.
anyways, so whoops, sorry.
Did you have fun?
Okay. I said pink. He said, me too. I was like, oh, like it was a little too much. It's like, and
It's
it's fine if guys want to like pink. That's fine. Like fuck
right.
gender norms, whatever. But it's like, it's like, that's my color.
That is really funny that I literally am sitting here going, what does it matter what their favorite color is? And the minute you said his was pink, I was like, this is a grift. This guy's taking advantage of you. I don't know what his angle is. Pink is just weird.
I love pink. My whole house is pink. And I love it. And I love it. But it's like, I want a guy who I come in and I'm like, we're going to redo the home. We're not going to
Right.
make it pink. We're going to settle on a color, right? I'm
Hmm.
not going to do that to you. My bathroom might be pink, but I'm not going to do it to the whole house the way I did in my house.
Hmm.
But you can't be like, wait, you like pink? Girl, same. Let's do
Right.
it. Let's like do the
I
whole place pink. And I'm
I
like,
don't there are
no.
things I don't care how progressive you are. If you're like, hearing a guy go, I wrote down that my favorite color was pink too, and you don't stop the whole conversation, you're lying to yourself, to everyone, to the world. Like, I'm with you. It's too much. And also, how about we not make this part of the questionnaire? Like, I don't know why this is even in the, like, why does favorite color matter at all? What does Jacinta know?
Jacinta's terrible. The worst part is that, so you get a match, right? And they say, hey,
only one match.
No. Like, everyone.
This is now an ad for Sitch.
No, literally. Like, Jacinta, we're here. Okay. No, actually, Danny's the owner. Anyway, sorry, Danny. Anyway, so you get someone, they're like, oh, we think that is such a great match for you. Check out his profile. Let us know if you want to go on a date with him. If he does, we'll set you guys up and we'll put you in a group chat. Me, you, Jacinta, and like Jacinta and you all get to be in are you at your mother's house?
No, I'm right. It's my place, but I'm writing down the name. I just moved, for the people listening, that you said, so that we can bleep it out.
You don't live in New York anymore?
I moved to Delray.
For good?
I'm doing like a 3-month. This will all be explained on Patreon, JTrain, patreon.com/Jared Fried.
Okay.
No, I've explained it. I basically was like looking for like 3 months to see if I like Delray and if I can make work with it. And I'm doing it. And I also need it out of my apartment. You know, sometimes you get stale. And I mean, as the co-host of New Yorker of the Week, you know this. New York, my apartment, I was just like, I need it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to see now if like a move can work. So I'm checking it out. So I'm in Delray Beach.
But did you furnish that apartment? Sorry, it was just the pillows.
Fully furnished. Yeah, no, it's very beachy. It's very
no, the pillows were giving like mother. And I was like, oh, are you at your mom's house?
No.
But see,
it's very Airbnb, like ready.
Yeah.
Like it's the Airbnb that you would expect to have that like matched like what you paid for it. I think Airbnbs generally are like good neighborhood, bad place, or great place, bad neighborhood. And this is kind of like both good place and good neighborhood. It kind of, I definitely like, I'm happy with the spot, but fully furnished, ready to go. Yeah.
But see, like if I saw those pillows for people listening, they won't
on
see
YouTube.
them.
I just like, if you go to YouTube, you can see I held it up.
Yeah, you held up the pillow, but the guy I went out with last night would be like, we need to get those in pink.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's like,
thank you for bringing us back to what was necessary to talk about the pink. Yeah, it's just a weird.
It's fine. There were 100 other things, but anyways, so
it's like a dog and it's like having a puppy in your dating profile. It's like, what are you trying to pull here, dude?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
So how was the date? But it sounds like the date was good.
It was great, but then after I met up with my neighbors, and I immediately felt this joy just being with them. And they're a bunch of dudes, and like they brought some of their friends. And then there's 2 girls who I also from my building that were there, and they're so fun. And we were just hanging out, and I was like, you guys, I think I was dead for the last 3 hours. I think I just had the worst date ever. And they were like, what? You came here and you were like, you were there for like 3 hours because you said you were going to meet us here at like 8 and now it's like 11 or something. You know, it's like, what happened? And I was like, I don't know. I just like, I feel so alive right now. And like some of them had brought their friends and I was like, and when
this is what it's all about. Someone's like, did the gummy just hit? What's going on?
No,
with you?
But like, and then I don't know. I just felt so alive, and everyone was like, "Are you like on something?" And I was like, "No, I'm actually sober." And I was just like, "I don't know. I just feel so alive with you guys." And I felt like I was dead inside with that.
Do you think that has to do with the AI nature of it? Like, do you think
it's
like
we were too good of a match?
Right.
I feel like we had too
clean.
much in common, and I think I need someone who's a little different, who challenges me and is like, Nora, you're being a wacky lady. Like, pull it in, you know? Like, stop. And instead, everything I said, he was like, same. Yeah, let's paint the kitchen coral. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's the same.
You have a Sex in the City podcast? I have a Sex in the City. Yeah.
No, I don't have a Sex in the City podcast. That would be the one difference that we have.
You rebranded your podcast from a Sex in the City podcast? I just rebranded my podcast from What do
He
you
was
think, and
really.
just like that? What's your opinion on the show?
Oh
You're
my
happy it
God,
exists,
Jared.
but however it exists,
Have
it
you watched
exists.
it? Have you
It's
watched
maddening.
it?
It's really,
So I'll tell
truthfully,
you.
it's like, I think it's the most horrific thing they've ever done in the history of television. I hate every scene of the show, and I watch every single scene because there's this like fourth wall of the show, in my opinion, and you're the
Uh-huh.
expert. I'm not gonna. I know Sex and the City tangentially. I'm not like the
Yeah.
biggest fan, but I enjoyed Sex and the City because it was just like so much itself. Like, it didn't apologize. It was just like, this is us women living in New York, and they weren't like trying to speak for every woman living in New York, but every woman found themselves seeing themselves in the women that were on the show, which is like a really nice connective thing. But
Yeah.
then over time, everyone wanted it to apologize for not being exactly everything to everyone, which is like, no show's ever going to do that. And it's almost like it's getting shit for how good it was. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
the shit it's getting is because it was so good and so wide that, like, oh, if it doesn't include
Yeah.
everyone's experience, now it's evil. And then the characters on the show, like are sitting there apologizing. It's like, fuck you. You made billions of dollars off this show. Be thankful for it. Like, don't yuck my yum from the early 2000s. And yeah, maybe you wouldn't make it today. I don't know. I could go on and I'm sorry.
Yeah, wait,
But so, and
wait, have you had a Sex and the City podcast in the
no,
past?
this is the rebrand of this show. This is now a Sex and the City podcast. It's called Freid and Freid, and we also have a moving company. I just don't like that every scene seems to be this like making sure everyone's okay type of thing.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. So, they brought in Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's now Miranda's girl. And
she's
so you remember
okay.
Che? Remember
So
Che?
she's like likable Che? Is that what she is? Like,
I actually have a funny story about Che Diaz. Che
What about
Diaz, my friend, Bodega, plug for Bodega, who's a drag king in New York. They were at the filming of And Just Like That, specifically the scene where Che Diaz does their set.
the stand-up set that
Was-
Che Diaz does is like, it's like, as a comedian, you're like, you want to you feel your
I almost
anus
killed myself.
yeah, you literally. I mean, like,
I was like, if this is
this-
it, I need to kill myself right now. Because if I ever am in this situation, I'm going to kill myself. Like, this
right.
is bad.
If I was like,
Mhm.
if anyone's a comedian and feels like they haven't gone to the bathroom in a week, go watch that scene. You'll shit right away. Like, it's
My
like it moves your
friends-
stomach.
My friend had to watch that exact set about 50 times because they had to do takes of it. And each time, and they were in the front row having to go like this.
Right, you have to like fake laugh. You have to like, it's the funniest
And
you've ever heard.
It's great. You can see her in the crowd. We zoomed in when we first watched And Just Like That. We were like, oh my God, it's Hope. Hope's her name and
Yeah.
her non-drag name. We were like, Hope. And she was like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, it was hard. It was a hard set. Imagine having
that's
to watch that
difficult
set over
to
and
tape
over and over again.
with, generally, that's not easy.
Yeah.
Good comedy, bad comedy, just to have to do that over and over again. It doesn't matter about the comedy.
Right. So so Che, to me, was a very, like, we had a personal connection to Che, right? As a friend group, we were all like, Hope really put herself out there for Che. Hope had to do a lot of work with Che because, she's in the audience having to cheer Che on for about 7 hours. So every time that Che came on, we were like, Hope, like, it's your homie. And it became like an inside joke, But now Rosie's here, and I don't know. Do you follow Rosie O'Donnell on
No.
Instagram?
It's been a while since Rosie has been in my life. I would say
You need to change that today.
Well, I just read an article. I do, for those listening or watching on YouTube, Pop Culture Thursday on the JTrain Podcast, there was a recent article that Rosie and their child, like, don't get along. The kid, Rosie's kid has, I think, a lot of issues. Like, if I can speak without really knowing what the issues are, I think there's like maybe they're not in the will or something, and it's like, or
Oh, I
something
would have
like
issues
that.
with that. Yeah.
There's like some sort of addiction issues going on, or I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn. My good friend Rosie, I don't want her to,
You should follow Rosie. She's such a good follow on Instagram. Her posts are spectacular. Like we've been following Hannah and I, my podcast co-host, plug. We've been following Rosie for a while now, and we're like she'll post a pigeon and be like, "Crazy day today," and
How-
it's just like, yeah, Rosie. It really
How
has
is
been a
Rosie?
crazy
I mean,
day.
it is weird to think like who gets remembered, who gets forgotten. And Rosie was like Ellen before Ellen, but maybe even bigger than Ellen. Like, it's weird that we don't have that tattooed to our brains, or maybe, but I'm just thinking of like, what do we hear about as far as like hosts, daytime hosts, legendary. She's legendary in the Koosh Ball, like the Koosh Ball. She owned the Koosh. Like, that is, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's how crazy it is. She would throw Kooshes at the audience, and that was like her big thing. That was her dancing. That was her version of Ellen dancing. To feel like
Ellen
that is lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And then she gets remembered.
She's back.
She's back. I mean, she gets remembered, I guess, for like bad takes and interviews. Like anytime I see like a Rosie TikTok show up, it's always like that she was like had like Britney Spears on, and it's like, hey, you wear short dresses. Like, it's like, and the questions are just like very old timey, but you're like, I again, it's another Sex in the City thing where I'm like, she was the biggest. Like, it wasn't like they weren't thinking of like being nice to people. Like, it's not like we weren't in the crowd like, yeah, short dresses, like.
Rosie rules. I don't know. I guess some people have problems with her. I don't personally. I
don't. Maybe I'm over exaggerating the problems people have.
No, I think they do. I mean, more people have problems with Ellen, which is a whole other bucket of worms. But is that the expression? Bucket of worms? Basket of worms?
Whole other
bucket of
can
worms?
of worms.
Can of worms. So I'm really bad. I'm really bad at expressions. Anyways, working on it though. But what's happening?
I'm doing a quick pivot. We don't want to do too much Sex in the City because you've rebranded the podcast and we only have so much time.
Well, okay. I'm just saying that she's a nun now in Sex in the City.
Oh, a nun?
Yeah, she's an ex-nun and she sleeps with Miranda. Sorry, spoiler alert.
That's fun. I like that.
But that's all I have to say, and we can move forward.
Okay, and do we like it?
I couldn't finish it. I have it on pause. I wasn't emotionally ready for the whole thing. I was like, I can't do this right now.
Here's some quick questions before we go. Everyone go follow Nora Fried on Instagram. She spells Fried wrong. At Nora Fried Comedy.
Freid like Fried.
Fried like Fried. If you go listen to New Yorker of the Week, you can hear how I get people to remember my name, which is not like Fried. Okay, Nora, on that subject, how many times were you asked if we were cousins or related?
Like from the last episode?
From any time since doing comedy. You started after me.
Jared, I have to be really honest.
Oh, no.
Just
lie to me. Say 1,000 times.
I didn't know who you were before I saw you.
Unbelievable. So we met at Club Cumming, which is like me walking in there was like, music stopped. Club Cumming is Alan Cumming's club where Kat Cohen puts on a show on a weekly basis, a fantastic show. And it's Kat Cohen doing her act and like allowing other comedians to kind of be a part of it and give her kind of a break is how I would describe the show. Yeah. And everyone should go to it. It's a fun, very New York experience. Like, hey, what did you do in New York? Oh, I went to Times Square. I went to the West Village. I ate some pizza. How about you do something new and different and cool? Go to Club Cumming. Go to a Kat Cohen show. That's like, to me, like, hey, there was like a meme for a minute, like, hey, I got a place. This would be like a very I got a place thing to do.
Totally.
I went on stage and I did a 5-minute set.
And I cried. I was crying.
You're very
laughing.
kind.
I
Thank
literally,
you.
Jared, I don't know if you, because I have a cackle laugh. It's really
I like
witchy.
you got a good laugh. It's a good
And
laugh.
I was cackling. And I'm door lady, by the way, at Club Coming. I'm not just Nora Fried comedy. I'm door lady at Club Coming. I have
She
my
does it all.
we're
I actually walked in. I said, "Door lady." You know, I was really rude. Um, but I
I
walked in and
checked.
you directed me to where to go, and
Yeah,
I'd never met
I'm
you
so good at
before.
that.
You're a good director, and then I opened by saying I feel like I interrupted the Glee trivia night. And no one even reacted at all. It felt like I was being mean. I didn't mean
But
to
I
be
was
mean. It
cackling. I
did look
was
like that.
cackling.
That's the thing. Like, and listen, I'm okay. Like, to me, like, I kind of live in this nowhereville of like,
Uh-huh.
I'm not extreme enough to be Rogan. I'm not like theys, thems, and gays enough to be at Club Coming. So, like, I was like happy to be there. And so I asked Kat to do the show. So I was happy to do it.
Your set was so funny, but I'd
Thank you.
never heard of you before. And it's
Well,
not,
there it
and
is.
I follow like a couple of big comedians that I love. And other than that, I'm kind of in my little bubble and I'm trying and, whatever. But I'm just like, if it happens, it happens. It's great. It's great.
How long have you been doing comedy for?
Like 2.5 years now, something like that.
What
So it's been very new. So I'm
other
just kind
than
of like, you know,
other
yeah,
than seeing my set, what was your favorite? What's your favorite moment of comedy so far?
of life,
Of comedy,
of my comedy or like
Y-
comedy of seeing.
your comedy, of your
Um,
experience.
I think we produced a couple of shows at Club Coming actually that went really well. And my
Love it.
first one, but the first show I ever produced and host was called Mazel Baby, and it was a
Okay,
Hanukkah show,
love
and it
it.
was all Jewish people doing sets, and it for the majority of the people that we put on. And it was hilarious and it completely sold out. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna like keep doing this. This is really fucking fun. And it
These are
was
the
just such
story.
a good feeling. Like
This
it
is a
literally
story
had
I love
Club
to hear.
Cunning, Mazel Baby sold out, hosted by Nora Fried. I was like, this is lit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
But your set was really funny. And
you're
so
very
that's
kind.
why after I was like, I texted Hannah and I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but he was so funny. We should get him on the podcast. And we're not trying to do a lot of comedians, but this guy's just so funny. And
Well,
that then I realized we had the same last name, and I was like, "Oh my God, is he my cousin?"
it took you that long to realize the same last name. Oh, wait a minute.
But I'm
That's a long time to realize.
I told you I'm bad at expressions. Things process differently. But that
Hold on.
now, yeah. So that was the story.
I like the premise of your new rebrand, New Yorker of the Week. And
Yeah,
it's funny because it seems as though you're just like, look at that weirdo. Let's have them on.
that's literally what it is.
And so I think I wrote down to ask you, how do you ask people other than like me? I'm a comedian. Oh, would you like to come on my podcast? Is like the second thing I talk about with people
Uh-huh.
generally. How do you go up to someone and go, because you have a woman on there that I'm like looking at her and I'm just like in awe of her look. Like, how do you say like, hey, weirdo, can you just come on and talk to us? Like, how do you do that?
So during the day I do sales. I've
Mm,
always had sales in me. So I'm always trying to like, it feels like a sales job. I do all of our booking. So Hannah does
hmm
all of our online social media stuff because she's Gen Z and I'm millennial. So she
Perfect.
knows how to like tag and do all that and the clips and everything. And I just go out and
Nora, I'm
I
sorry to
know.
tell you, you should know how to tag people. I don't think
But
that's
so,
you can't
but
just say I'm a
sometimes you
millennial
go,
and I don't get it
look,
and then just say anything as
I
things you
do the
don't know how to do.
business. I do the business
You're the
side,
business.
And so I
Yes.
book people, I find people. Hannah will send me people and be like, Nora, this person's dope. Let's go after them. But if I find someone that I think is funny, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do everything I can to get them on. But like with you were so, I mean, not to say easy, but it was like I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, he
I'm
said yes
insulted.
immediately.
Yeah, no,
Like normally
I'm
people are like, so sorry, I have to do 700 things, like stare at my wall before I come on there. You know what I
I
mean?
to me if we can work it out, Zoom makes things easier. I mean like
Exactly.
but also like if someone's like, "Hey, next week, I always tell people like whenever like with podcast stuff, I'm like, "Just give me a date and time. Like just give it to
That's
me. I'll
so
say yes or
nice.
no." And then we'll figure it out from there. Like we can negotiate from there. but that's okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. I have.
So I chase. I can chase and I can be persistent and I'm
I
like
like
very
that. I have.
let's try.
I have some quick hit questions.
Okay.
Ready? Best thing you ate recently. First thing that comes to mind.
Um, oh no.
This shouldn't stress you out. This is.
I you know what, and this is gonna be bad. But I had a Diet Coke just now. I know that's
A
kind of like
what?
a Diet Coke that just I know that's not eating, and I know
No, that's
that's
the
like
answer.
that's not a body positive answer, but I just
Is
had a
it
Diet
not?
Coke. Well, it's kind of like I just had an amazing Diet Coke. But like I
I've had a
drank one.
Diet Coke that's changed my day.
You know, where it's just like it hits the ice. It had a lemon. I was just like, I was having kind of a
Look,
bad morning and I had that and I was like, whoa, okay, let's go.
this is a no apologies
Yeah.
for Diet Coke love
Okay.
podcast, even though I have hated on people who make Diet Coke their personality. I think that's different than what we're doing now, which
Yeah.
is to have a Diet Coke in a glass with ice. The first sip, I get it. Okay. Best thing well, this ruins my next question. Best thing you drank lately.
This is gonna be crazy. The Diet Coke. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I thought you had like a one in the chamber.
No, I like relapsed last night, so I just drank some wine. No, I'm just kidding.
Heroin. Oh, can I say? I know I didn't drink it, but
I'm that's not a good question for me because I'm like all I drink is Diet Coke and seltzers. Oh, a Shirley Temple. A Shirley Temple. I had it last night, and I said to the people, I said to the
on the date.
bartender, no, oh no, but I've crushed four. I crushed once 4 Shirley Temples on a date, and the guy was like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "You just had 4 beers," and he's
Right.
like, "But
Club
you,
soda or Sprite?
um, ginger ale."
That's the way it's intended. That's probably the way it should
Yeah.
be made. But that's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Club
I haven't had
soda.
Well,
Club soda.
I have a skinny Shirley Temple, which is also called a Cape Cod, which is club soda cranberry with a lime. Would be like.
That's not a Shirley Temple.
Let me believe what I want to believe. Let
Okay.
me live in this dreamland where that can be
Yep,
my.
Florida. He's gone. We lost him. We lost
Listen,
him.
okay. Best place you visited.
Well, I went to Morocco earlier this year. That was
How was
really
that?
wonderful. It was great. That's where I had the most luck with men. I got
Really?
proposed to in Morocco, and he still follows up. He put me on his
Like,
close
hey,
friends.
are you ready to get married? Like,
He's
that's
like,
what he says?
he's like, baby girl, let me know when. Just like, I don't honestly, maybe
How'd you meet him?
soon. He did my tattoo,
Let's see the tattoo.
and
Beautiful work.
we just had a really nice connection. And
How long? You spent a lot of time together. I mean, that's basically a first date.
Yeah, it was. And he was holding my arm. And he was
Touch.
no, but at the end he was like, what did he say? He said
My favorite
something.
color is pink.
No. He had a picture of an AK-47 on the wall, like a painting of it. So his favorite color wasn't pink. Sorry, maybe that's not
His
what I'll
favorite
say.
color was death.
Yeah.
What
But yeah.
did you go to Morocco with someone by yourself?
No, I went alone. That's why your set was killing me. I love traveling alone. I'm going to Europe alone soon.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Portugal and Berlin. And
Oh,
remember,
we talked
you're
about
going
this
the same
on-
way.
I'm going to Portugal soon.
I know, we're gonna meet up.
We're gonna meet
You're
up.
gonna stay a little longer.
Okay, what's your pit? I need your pit of the week.
My pit?
Worst thing of the week.
Um, uh, worst thing of the week. Worst thing of the week. My cat did that thing where she goes to the bathroom in the litter box, jumps up on the bed, litter everywhere, runs around, and I just clean the sheets. And it's just like one of those things where I'm just alone and I'm like, do I clean them again? Or do I just let it go?
Right.
You
I
know?
once slept at a woman's place where there was a cat, and like in the bed, I'm like, did I bring this in? And then now, even talking to you, I'm like realizing, oh, that was just the litter.
It wasn't you, it was the cat. And it's just one of those secrets that I just have to keep to myself.
Right.
So
You gotta be
thank
like
God.
a slice of pizza at Two Boots. You gotta have the like stuff underneath.
It's
That was a very New York reference.
it was a very New York reference. But yeah, so there was some litter on my bed. I brushed it off, and then I sat there and I was like, shit, like, am I sleeping in the litter? But I brushed it off, but I just cleaned the sheets.
I'm with you. This sucks because emotionally you have this like doubt of like, am I a person who sleeps in cat litter? And you go, this is who I am. I'm too lazy to clean. It's kind of like, have you ever like gotten into bed without brushing your teeth at night and you go, I'll have this like, is this who I am? And then you get up out of shame. You've shamed yourself. I get it.
It's
Nora
the
Fried,
worst.
thank you so much. This was a wonderful Chit Chat Wednesday.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone go follow Nora at Nora Fried Comedy. Go, 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 go. New Yorker of the Week. That's the podcast. You can find it all on her Instagram. I'm Jared Fried. Back next week. Boom.